Hey guys, Ashley Felk here. So I'm clearly in my car trying to do a little bit of a podcast episode. I've been having some issues with the storage on my iPad not wanting to let me record videos, and I've been really sick, so I'm like a week or so behind on this. But so what I wanted to talk about was this young woman named Danielle Stislicki from Southfield, Michigan, or she's from Farmington Hills, Michigan actually, and she worked in Southfield. And the last day she was ever seen was December 2nd, 2016, which is when she left work for the last time, and it was on a Friday. Okay, she was supposed to meet up with one of her girlfriends after work for dinner and did not show. The friend couldn't get a hold of her. The next day, the friend still could not get a hold of her, so the friend contacted Danielle's parents, who went to her apartment and found her vehicle parked in the parking lot with her purse and her cell phone and all of her things in it, which seemed very strange. So they the parents called the cops and reported her missing. And it ended up turning into a homicide case, and her body has never been recovered. And this happened, like I said, December 2nd, 2016, and it's finally going to go to trial on February 22nd. So it's taken about a decade to get the defendant, whose name is Floyd Galloway, tried. So this Floyd Galloway guy was he, a security guard at her work? She worked at this place in Southfield called MetLife in this big office building, and she actually worked with her mother too. And Floyd Galloway came onto police radar pretty soon because several of Danielle's coworkers were saying that she was seen leaving work with this guy. I guess he was in the parking lot at the end of the day with his hood up, kind of feigning some type of vehicle trouble. And I asked Danielle to give him a ride home, and a couple coworkers saw Danielle's car leaving the parking lot of MetLife with him in the passenger seat, and that was the last time that she had ever been seen. So when this guy gets questioned by police, he denies it, and then he lawyers up. Well, at the same time, police in Livonia, Michigan, are looking for this guy who was wanted for kidnapping and rape of a female jogger in Hines Park in Livonia. Someone just pulled this female jogger off the jogging trail, took her into the woods, beat her, raped her, and she did survive, and she did go to police and gave police a description of this guy. Well, it turned out to be Floyd Galloway, and this wasn't found out until the summer of 2017. He was finally arrested, tried, and convicted for all of this, and the guy is still in prison. He was sentenced to 16 to 35 years. So, a couple days after Danielle's disappearance, I think it was maybe December 7th, when the cops contact Floyd Galloway, he denies everything and lawyers up. Well, then his lawyer makes him take this polygraph test, but I'm not quite sure why. I couldn't really figure out a reason why the lawyer would make their client take a test. But the administrator of the test was a retired FBI agent and was extremely disturbed by what he had heard, so he told law enforcement. And of course, this guy doing this violates attorney-client privilege. So essentially everything that this test administrator found out was found out in a way that would make it inadmissible in court. So the police were trying to say that they received an anonymous tip saying Floyd Galloway had committed this crime, and they were able to get a warrant to search his home and go through his cell phone and all this other kind of stuff. So the evidence they had in his home, in his bedroom, there were a couple carpet squares cut out of the floor in his bedroom, and assumingly because there might have been blood, bodily fluid, hair, something like that. And they went through his wallet and found this receipt from Bed Bath & Beyond that he had just purchased a new comforter on December 4th. So 2 days after Danielle was seen, and then they find footage of him actually purchasing the comforter at Bed Bath & Beyond, and then they go through this guy's cell phone data and also Danielle's cell phone data. So Danielle, the victim, her cell phone data showed her in the vicinity of her work from 5 p.m. until 5:16 p.m. And at that time, from 5:16 to I think 7:57, she was at this Floyd Galloway guy's house, or like in the vicinity of it. And then her phone goes back to her house, her apartment where it was left, and then it turns off, it stops reporting to Towers. So police pulled a lot of CCTV footage and the route between the two apartments and found this guy on video parking the victim vehicle at her apartment complex and getting out and walking like across the street and a couple blocks to a Tim Hortons, where he called a cab and the cab took him home. And he's also caught on camera throwing her car keys and her Fitbit like in the road, you know, while he's walking. So all this is going to be inadmissible in court because of the way the information was found. It violated Floyd Galloway's due process rights. And so it took forever for this guy to be finally charged with the crime. And in at the end of 2018, when a new attorney general got voted into Michigan, Dana Nessel, she looked at it and finally charged the guy with homicide, and he was arrested. So that's where I'm going to stop there because I am on my phone right now, but I will get the second part later today.